Good morning, students. Today we are going to start the ninth unit, that is clarification and filtration from the pharmaceutics one. Okay. So before starting the clarification and filtration chapter, you should know about what is filtration and what is clarification. Okay. So clarification, it is a process by which the finely divided solid uh, and colloidal materials, they are separated from the liquids. So they are separated by the means of the clarifying agents like kissel, wood, paper, tile, pulp, etc. And the filtration is defined as the separation of solids from the liquids by means of porous medium. Okay. So filter paper, cotton, sand, tail sintered glass, they are used as filter media. So filtration is an operation which is utilized in the preparation of almost all pharmaceutical liquid products. So it is defined as the separation of solid from a fluid or slurry by means of a filter medium which retains the solids but allows the fluid to the pass. Okay, so please remember it retains the solid but only allow the fluid to pass. Okay, so filter media, they are porous in which solid particles are deposited or entrapped, and the term clarification is applied when the solids of not exceed 1% and the filtrate is the primary product. Okay, so in order to understand the filtration process, some related terms should be clear like slurry, filter medium, filter cake, and filtrate. So the suspension of solid and liquid to be filtered is known as slurry. And the filter medium is the porous medium used to retain the solids. And filter cake is the solid deposition on the medium. It is called filter cake. So the clear liquid obtained after filtration through the filter media is called the filtrate. So next we have a theory of filtration. The theory of filtration gives an idea about the factors influencing the rate of filtration through the filtering medium rather than the mechanism by which particles are retained. Okay. So the factors affecting rate of filtration were studied by a scientist named Darcy, and he expressed it in the form of an equation which is known as Darcy's law. So the equation is D is equal to K A A P and upon NT. So V is the volume of filtrate, K is the permeability coefficient and is dependent on the nature of precipitate to be filtered and filter medium. A is the area of filter bed, dP is the pressure difference on the liquid and below the filter medium. Tn is the viscosity of the fluid and I is the thickness of filter cake. So next we have is filter media. So the porous media which allows the fluid to pass and retain the solid on its surface are called filter media. So the function of filter media is to filter the slurry, but if the thickness of the filter cake is substantial, the media will act as a support for the filter cake, and this porous bed of cake will actually act as a filter media. Okay, so the ideal filter media should have the following properties. So what are the properties? It should be chemical inert, it should not be react with any chemical substances, it should have high retention power for solids in the slurry, it should allow the maximum passage of the liquid, it should be mechanically strong to withstand the high filtration pressure, and it should not absorb the dissolved material, it should be resistant to corrosive action of the liquids, it should have the proper pore size depending on the particle size of solids in the slurry, it should be economical. So factors affecting the rate of filtration. Factor affecting the rate of filtration. The rate of filtration depends on the following factors. First one is particle size. The rate of filtration is directly proportional to the particle size of the solid to be removed. So it is easier to filter a liquid having coarse particles than that having finely divided particles, because coarse filtering medium can be used to filter liquid coarse particles, and hence it increases the rate of filtration. So therefore, before filtration, some method should be adopted to agglomerate the finely divided particles into coarse particles or to increase the particle size by precipitation. Okay, so pore size of filter media, the rate of filtration is directly proportional to the pore size of the filter media. So the liquid having coarse particle require a coarse filtering media to remove them. So the rate of filtration is increased when a coarse filter media is used for filtration. So next we have is thickness of cake. So the rate of filtration is inversely proportional to the thickness of filter cake formed during the process of filtration. So as the filtration process proceeds, the solid particles start depositing on the filter medium and thus it increases the thickness of the cake and decreases the rate of filtration. So next we have is pressure. The rate of filtration of liquid is directly proportional to the pressure difference between the filter medium and the filter cake. Okay. So, thus the rate of filtration can be increased by applying pressure on the liquid being filtered or by decreasing the pressure. So, by decreasing the pressure on the liquid being filtered or by decreasing the pressure beneath the filter. So, students, next we have is viscosity. So the rate of filtration is inversely proportional to the viscosity of the liquid undergoing filtration. Okay. So liquids which are very viscous get filtered slowly in comparison to liquids with low viscosity. So reduction of viscosity of a liquid by raising the temperature is frequently done in order to accelerate filtration. Example is syrups. So the syrups are more quickly filtered when hot than cold. So next point is surface area of filter media. So the rate of filtration is directly proportional to the surface area of filter media. So plating the filter paper or using a fluted funnel increases the effective surface area of filter paper for filtration. So filter press also works on the same principle. So next we have is temperature of liquid to be filtered. Temperature plays an important role in the rate of filtration. So viscosity is reduced by a rise in temperature and the filtration of viscous oil, syrups, etc. is often accelerated by filtering them while they are still hot. Okay, so nature of solid material. The rate of filtration is directly proportional to the porosity of the filter cake. So the porosity of the filter cake depends on the nature of the solid particles to be removed from the liquid. So filter aids are sometimes added to the filtering liquid to make a porous cake. So next we have is filter media and filter aids. So filter aids are the media which help in the process of filtration. So if the filter cake is slimy, gelatinous or highly compressible, such a filter cake is impermeable in nature and has high resistance to liquid flow. Okay. So a filter aid is used to make impermeable cake more porous, so less resistant and compressible. So the addition of filtrate is a restricted phenomenon. Okay, so it is recommended in those filtration where filtrate is valuable and the filter cake is a waste. So usually 0.1 to 0.5% of filtrate is added to the slurry before filtration, or a suspension of filtrate is first prepared and then added to the liquid to be filtered. So next is mechanism of action. So during filtration process, The solids may gradually build up on the filter medium and form a solid cake, and thereby it blocks the pores of the medium. So as a result, the rate of filtration may be less. So the filtrate prevents the blocking of the press of the medium and helps to form an open porous cake, and thereby it increases the efficiency of the filtration process. So, so the different filtrates which are used in filtration are: the selection of the filtrate depends upon the nature of the preparation to be filtered, and an ideal filtrate should be chemically inert, and it should be form a porous cake, and it should be low specific gravity. Okay. So the various filter aids used in pharmacy are talc, kieselguhr, siliceous earth or clays, charcoals, chalk, magnesium carbonate, and an ideal filtrate should have the following characteristics. So it should be chemical inert. Chemical inert means it should not react with any substance. It should form a non-compressible and highly porous cake. It should be insoluble in the slurry, and it should have irregular shaped particles, and it should have high absorption capacity, and it should be economical. So commonly used filtrates are: cellulose is a highly compressible and more expensive than diatomite and perlite, and it is used where the liquids may be incompressible. So it is cheaper than diatomite. So next we have is asbestos. So you know very well that the asbestos is the costly material, has limited applications because of its nature to carry some toxic substance which may come into filtrate. So next we have is diatomite. It is the most important filtrate. It has irregularly shaped porous particles that form a rigid incompressible cake. Primarily diatomite is silica, which is relatively inert and insoluble. Okay. So next we have is perlite. So students, perlite is an aluminum silicate which forms a less dense cake than diatomite cake. So cake in the case is porous and incompressible. So it is cheaper than diatomite. Okay. So next we have is carbon. Carbon is rarely used as filtrate in pharmaceutical operations because of the cleanliness problems. So filtrates are selected by trial and error method. Okay. So the main consideration in the selection of filtrate is being its inertness, even if the flow rate is low. So next is types of filters. First one is sintered glass filters. So these are made from borosilicate glass, and the glass is powdered and sifted to produce uniform particles. Okay. So these are heated to sintered point and molded into a flat or convex plate which is fitted into the glass funnel of suitable shape and size. So these filters are mainly used for the filtration of liquid meant for parenteral use. So next is filter paper. So filter paper is most commonly used as filter media for general filtration. So the filter paper, they are classified as coarse, medium, and fine according to their pore size. For the filtration of pharmaceutical preparation, a fine grade of filter paper is used, and the main drawback of a filter paper is that it has an absorbing property, and also it sheds fine particles into the filtrate. So next we have is cotton wool. So cotton wool is generally used for filtering of moderately coarse particles. So the disadvantage of cotton is that it sheds fine cotton hair in the filtrate. So this problem can be solved to a large extent by using cotton wool of long staple and wetting the cotton wool plug the liquid before its use. Okay. So next we have is glass wool. So glass wool is consists of fine fibers of glass which are resistant to corrosive liquids. So it is used for filtering corrosive liquids such as strong acids, alkalis, and oxidizing agents, and solutions of chromic acid and potassium permanganate. Next we have is asbestos. So it is used for the same purpose as glass bowl, but it is commonly used in gravimetric analysis for collecting fine precipitates which are to be subsequently ignited. And next is fine muslin. So it is used for removing very coarse particles. So this is done generally before passing the liquid through a fine filter media in order to avoid choking of the fine filter with coarse particles. So next is filter cloth. So both synthetic and cotton cloth is used as filter media for large scale filtration. Example is in filter process, synthetic cloth has more strength than cotton cloth. So moreover, synthetic cloth has less absorbing property than cotton cloth. So hence, synthetic cloths are preferably nowadays. So next we have is membrane filters. So in case of membrane filters, they are basically made up of a cellulose, acetate or nitrate. Okay. So the widely used membranes have a porosity range of 0.22 to 0.8 micron. So the membranes of 0.22 or 0.45 micron, they are specified for sterile filtration. So these membranes are mechanically strong, hence not distorted by pressure. So they are better than any other filter media because of their characteristics of having negligible absorption effects and no chance of ionic or particulate contamination. So membranes do not require any pre-treatment and may be easily autoclaved or gas sterilized. The microorganisms are retained at the surface of the membrane filter. They are compatible with almost all the pharmaceutical products except some solvents like polyethylene glycols, dimethylformamide, certain aldehydes and ketones, etc. So membrane filters are also suitable for simple formulations like intravenous solutions, ophthalmic and other aqueous products. So the formulation containing heat labile oil and protein require pre-treatment such as centrifugation or conventional filtration prior to sterilization by the filtration. So this is done to remove the particle matter which may rapidly plug the finally the membranes. Okay. So the bubble point is the characteristics of a membrane filter which depends on porosity rating. So it can be defined as the pressure required pushing air through a liquid saturated filter. So until this point is reached, the filter pores retain liquid, and unless there is a rupture larger than the pore diameter, air pressure will hold indefinitely. Filtration press less than the bubble point of a membrane prevents air passing through the filter at the end of a filtration cycle. So this avoids the formation of excessive foaming. So the efficiency of membranes can be checked by determination of its bubble point value. A test apparatus is used to find out the bubble point. So the arrangement is made in such a way that it will not affect loss and sterility of the product. Okay. So students, that is all for the day. Thank you.